Hey everyone, it's Deborah. I hope you're all doing well. I've had a pretty good 2 weeks. It's week 9 for me, since my operation's gone so quick. I weighed in this morning at 107 kilos, or 235.4 pound. That's a loss of 2 kilos again this week, so I seem to be averaging about a kilo a week. I'm happy with that. It's a loss of 20.7 kilos in total in the 9 weeks, or 45.54 pound. So that's just great. That's really, really good. I'm happy with that. How could you not be? That's just brilliant. Yeah, 9 weeks it's been. I can't believe it. I think I'm just about ready for... I don't think there's a terrible lot that I'm not eating now. I think we're all the same. There's some foods that don't agree too much. Chicken breast. Oh, I've always thought it was a really, really dry food, but wow, is it dry now? It just sits like a lump. You almost feel like you've got a band in. Yes, I'm glad that, you know, I've sort of worked out the things that do upset me. Of course, you know, our bread does. But if I have it toasted, and if I have something really moist on it, I'm usually okay. I can still only eat about half a slice though underneath whatever, you know, whether it be a poached egg or something like that. But yeah, no, I'm sort of, I've had probably over the last week a really hard week for eating. I thought I was over all the hurdles, but I think it's going to be an up and down sort of process. I think it's just going to be, I don't know for what reason, but I think it's just going to be an up and down. As in, you don't know what you're going to, you know, how it's going to affect you until you've had it. So yeah, no, but I'm really, really happy with how things are going. Sorry, I was just setting my timer there because otherwise I run over. Yeah, yeah, bread is probably one, chicken would be the other. I try to steer clear. I actually, now wait for this, this is really, really weird. I've got one allergy in my life, and that's latex, which plays havoc a bit with nursing, but you know, you get that. I never had a food allergy in my life, but since I've had since I've had my VSG, my vertical sleeve, I've tried probably, and I'm talking probably maximum 5 or 6 half peanuts, and both times I've had them, whether it's a coincidence or not, I don't know, both times I've broken out a huge rash. So maybe, you know, when you think about it, everything must change in your body when you have this operation. You know, everything must change. Your metabolisms change. Everything's changed. So it's quite possible that maybe I have got a bit of an allergy to peanuts now. Normally, if you're allergic to latex, you'll be allergic to avocados and bananas and all those nice things. I'm not allergic to any of those. Just latex itself, you know, the gloves and that sort of thing. But yeah, so that was how I found out about that was... last weekend, the weekend before, we went up to Stockton, which is a beachside suburb, because we're way out in the country, and yeah, we went up there to see my sister and her husband. Her husband's working, he's a contractor, and he was up there working one of the big mines, and or power station actually, I think he was working at, and they were staying in Stockton Caravan Park, which is right on the ocean. So we went up there for the weekend, and as you know, I've got my 4-year-old grandson staying with us at the moment. Not quite sure when he's going to return home to Townsville, which is, you know, 1,500 k's away. So, but yeah, we went up there, and we rented a cabin. They've got a mobile home, you know, a camper van that they take everywhere. We've got one as well, but ours is quite thirsty. Ours takes a lot of petrol to drive anywhere, and we just thought, look, you know what, we're just going to take my little my little sedan, and we'll take that and we'll go and stay in a cabin for the night. So we stayed in the cabins, and we had a ball. It was great fun. I stuck to everything. I mean, I don't feel like eating anything wrong anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you don't, there's no way I could say I was on a diet, because I can eat any food that I like, but you really choose not to. We went out for Chinese one night while we were up there. It seems to be a tradition that if we go up and see them, they'll shout us out for a dinner out, and the same thing if they come down and visit us, we'll do the same thing in return. And yeah, we went out for Chinese, and I thought, oh, you know, I haven't had anything that heavy ever since I've been, you know, since I've had the the sleeve done, and I thought, what am I going to do? Because it's such a waste getting me anything, because I eat so little, and they sort of all got a plate, and they said, look, you know, we'll just give you a little bit off it. Well, I'm just trying to think what we had. They had salt and pepper squid and all that sort of thing, and I just had like a little tiny piece of it, and you know what? It made me feel so sick. It really did, because I've never ever been able to eat fried foods. I had gallbladder problems from the time I was about 12-year-old. They didn't diagnose it until I was about 17, so I put up with it for 5 years. And if anyone's ever had gallbladder attacks, I was in agony. And being a kid, nobody believed you. You know, Mum and Dad did, but it was a case of, you know, it's an older person's disease. No one has that as a child, but I did. I mean, I was brought up on a farm, and we weren't well off by any means. So you ate what you were given, and quite often that was, you know, like looking at it now, that was the wrong foods to have. You know, like we used to have a cow that we milked, very similar to what I've got now. But I know now that I don't drink her milk. I'll drink her separated milk, but I won't drink the full cream, because she's a little Jersey, and it's just beautiful milk. But yeah, we used to drink the Jersey milk back then, and Mum used to skim the cream off the top, and then she'd whip it. You know, I mean, you can't get any fresher than that, and you can't get any more fat than that. So all of those things did contribute to a gallbladder problem. But it, I mean, I'm sure these days, you know, unfortunately with the way our lifestyles are, and you know, God love them, my heart just bleeds for how many overweight children there are. It really does. I'm just so scared for them. Mainly because a lot of them haven't got the guidance. You know, their parents are the same as them, so they don't know right from wrong. But anyway, yeah, so I had gallbladder problems from the time I was 12, and yeah, so it's I've lost track of where I was going with that, but yeah, so I sort of, yeah, from that time onwards, that's right, I couldn't eat fried foods at all, couldn't eat any fried foods, and that's a really hard thing for anybody to say when you're as big as me, you know, to turn around and say, I don't eat fried food. People look at you like, oh yeah, right, you know, but I couldn't, I would be violently ill. I'd break out in a rash, I'd break out in sweats, and I'd be violently ill for sort of 24 hours afterwards if I ate, say, fish and chips or something. So I mean, that was a good thing, but you know, I made up for it with sweets. Love sweets. So yeah, so but yeah, going back to the, you know, camping holiday, the time away, they all did what they normally do. I just had my bits and pieces of that Chinese meal, and yeah, I didn't feel well after it at all. Not that I overate, I didn't do anything of the sort. You know, as soon as I get that little niggly pain, it's like, stop now, because the next pain is a doozy. So I always stop for that one. But yeah, no, I just didn't agree with me at all. I probably had, I suppose, probably didn't eat as much as what I would even eat at home, which is, you know, bugger all. But yeah, I probably had a couple of glasses of wine a day. We're only there for 2 days, so, but we're talking very small little flutes of wine, and they take me hours and hours and hours. I know they're all carbs and that sort of thing, but yeah, it was just, it was, you know, they had all the snack foods and everything out, and at one stage there, that's all I really had was about 6 peanuts, and yeah, twice I tried that and broke out in a rash, and I thought, well, there you go, my body definitely has changed. So, but yeah, but since then, this past week, I've had a real shocking time trying to get food down. Very, very bilious, you know, very, very full of wind after I eat halfway through, you know, like I try to slow down as much as I can. You know, I think it was Kristen, West Oz girl, they said she inhales it. Well, I'm the same, you know, I just woof it down, but I have really, really tried, because the pain has been quite bad. I've tried to slow down with my eating, but it's really hard, isn't it? You know, when you're used to eating fast, it's really, really tricky. But I've done that. Today's been a bit of a turnaround for me. I've actually been able to eat my lunch and that today. I wonder too though, congratulations to me, because today I started a new job. It's only a casual on-call job, but it's another nursing job in a private hospital, so I'm really happy with that. And I went down today for 6 hours of orientation, which we get paid for, which is wonderful. Haven't had any pay. Sorry, I got $400 in the last 5.5 weeks, so it's been desperado. But yeah, I went down there for orientation today, and I just took my couple of cracker breads and a slice of light cheese and some tomato and lettuce and onion. And I had those, and I didn't seem to have much pain. But then again, there was a lot of activity going on around, and I think when you're not sitting there in silence concentrating on your food, you don't notice as much if it's hurting or if you're over full, and that, so you'd have to be really careful. But yeah, no, I had that, and I had that quite well. Whereas the last few days I've been sort of getting through one little cracker bread and really wanting to stop, like not have the rest of it, but I'd wait about 15 minutes and then I'd have another go and I'd get that one down. Only because this past week I have not been having nearly enough food, just because of the wind problems, the indigestion type problems with it. It's been very painful, so it does make you hesitate before you grab something, and you tend to not even think about meals. It's a case of lunch, oh god no, I don't want to go through that. So your body you just instantly turn off and you forget about it. So yeah, but other than that, no, it's been really good. I don't think I've had any great dramas. Everything seems to be going really well. I haven't experienced anything major. I'm just just plodding along, and it seems to be working for me. I've definitely got heaps more energy. That's a really good thing. Lots and lots of energy. I seem to be able to go and do stuff now, and you know, like others have said, I haven't sort of gotten to the exercise stage yet as such. Walking, but not actually exercising, but I just seem to do so much more now. You know, I'll go out and you know, rake up the yard and you know, rake up the hay and this sort of stuff, and it's just so much more comfortable to do that now. And it was so nice to go for my job today and know that, you know, I'm 45 pound lighter, and you haven't got that, you don't have that stigma, you know what I'm talking about, girls and guys, you know, that, oh god, I'm the biggest one here. Well, I wasn't today, and that was just so nice for a change. You know, there was somebody else saying the jokes of, you know, when we're talking about, because we have, in today's society, you've got so many bariatric patients, that they were showing us, there was me and another girl that were doing orientation, and they were showing us all the bariatric equipment and, you know, the different lifters and things that you've got available for anybody, but there's special slings that go onto the lifters for bariatric patients. And yeah, they were showing us those, and you know, my mum was saying, oh, you know, like, and somebody'd say, you know, that's for really heavy people, and she'd go, yeah, like me. And I sort of thought, you know, she doesn't even look that big to me, but it's usually me, you know, piping up and saying something like that. It's just nice to know that you're not the butt of all the jokes and that sort of thing. Not that I'm certainly twiggy by any means at all. I've got a long way to go, but it's just nice to feel comfortable, and knowing that, you know, I've got to go and buy a couple of uniforms, and it's not going to be the big trauma that it was before. They're still going to have to be big, but they're not going to have to be, you know, the extra larges that they once were. So that's really nice. I also start back at uni too, guys, which is really good. I'm doing my bachelor, getting my degree, and that's really good. I've got my uniforms from that because I started this degree in 2009 and then deferred it, and I've taken it back up this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they fit now. I really sort of felt uncomfortable in them before. I actually had to get men's ones, and you know, they got a slightly different cuff on the sleeves. The girls were just normal like polo type shirts, and the boys had the cuff that brings them in, you know, and so I felt really embarrassed to have them. Well, now I've still got the same shirt, but if they're not as tight and they're not as sort of close fitting and that, I won't care whether they're guys or girls. It really doesn't matter if they're, hopefully they're a bit baggy, and they'll be nice and comfy. But yes, I'm excited about that. Really excited. It means a lot of study and a lot of everything, but that's why I'm just taking on casual work now. So yeah, no, everything's come together really, really well. I'm just, it's the best thing I ever did. Just so stoked about it. Wayne's, my husband, still gets really worried. I find that I have to, you know, I sit very quietly after I've eaten, because I've got to, you know, it's got to go down, and it's got to, I have that little bit of uncomfortable, not, it's a strange, you know the feeling. If you've had it done, you'll know the feeling. It's not a panic feeling, it's just a feeling of being very uncomfortable. And if you wait about 15 minutes, it tends to, you know, sort of go from here and it goes down, so that you don't feel quite so loaded, because that's how I find I feel, is I'm very, very chockers, you know. Even when I don't get to, you know, that pain stage, which I try not to get to, because I think if I get to the pain stage, it's stretching, and that's something I don't want to do. But yeah, so he gets worried and sort of looks at me, and I go, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Oh God, you worry me." And I go, "Like, don't worry about it, I'll worry for me." But yeah, you know, like, he's a big eater, and he just looks at what I eat and just shakes his head and thinks, "Oh my God." But yeah, I think it's great. You know, I'm not hungry. I probably don't eat, like I said this last week, I haven't eaten what I should have, and I probably don't eat enough of everything, but I'm getting there, and that's the main thing. I think when I get back for my 12-week checkup, I think I'll be fine. So that's my beeper telling me that I'm running overtime. So take care, guys. Hi to Kristen, hi to Maggie, hi to everybody, and take care. Love to you all, and I hope you are all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.